So what's cracking YouTube? We back, we back, we back. I missed a couple of days. You know, Valentine's Day was it was alright. You know, we didn't get a chance to do exactly everything we would have liked to do, but it was fun. You know, me and the wife spent time together and all that good stuff. However, we are back with another video. If you can't tell by the title, we're gonna talk about my boy Blake Griffin. So I've been a big fan of Blake Griffin for a very long time, since way back in the day, because I actually have a nephew who really looked up to him. He used to call him little baby Blake Griffin all the time. So got a lot of love for his flashiness, the dunks he was always putting on a show. Hey, so now before we go ahead and get into that, make sure that if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like, share, comment, get into the discussion and all that kind of good stuff. Let's run the numbers up. Um, but we're gonna go ahead and get up in here. So uh, let's talk, because Blake Griffin used to be, like I said, he was very, very exciting to watch. He would keep you on your toes, because if you wasn't paying attention to him, you get dunked on, and you didn't want to be under the rim when he went for his dunks, because he threw a lot of power into them. So yeah, so that was him to his whole totality. He really didn't do anything because of the fact that he was the main attraction of Lob City. Well, a third of the attraction. Chris Paul dribbling up the court, lobbing it up. Him, either DeAndre Jordan will throw it down. Pretty much that's what it was. The whole dynamic of Lob City. Lob City. So after they had that little situation, they didn't see eye to eye anymore. They broke up and all that kind of thing. Blake Griffin went on his little journey trying to figure out what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go, how he was going to evolve his game, since Lob City was not a thing anymore. Ended up on the Pistons. Didn't really end up very well for him. Still on the Pistons, and as we can see here, I'm going to go ahead and bring it on up. Says that he no longer wants to be on the Pistons, and we've been able to tell that for a very long time if you actually have been paying attention to Blake Griffin. So yeah, it's been kind of hard to hear about that, because he's been kind of battling a little bit of injury here and there. Nothing too serious from what I'm aware of, but he just wasn't very, very happy becoming a Piston, and I really wish he would have made alternative decisions in where he ended up. But it is what it is. Now he's looking to get moved, as you can see here in this little clip we got right here. Well, not clip, but in this little joint right here, it says he is going to not play until they finally get him a way out. I'm not going to read through this too specifically much, but the trade deadline, due to the particular way the season is working out, is not going to be in February. It's actually going to be March 25th, which, let me see here for a second. Let me see if I can blow this up. No, not working. Anyway, but I'm not worried about that. So if you can't see it, which you probably can't, I'm going to just read this anyway. So again, the trade deadline is March 25th this year. Blake Griffin, being 31 years old, still has some years on him. Since he hasn't been playing to his potential, he probably still has some fight left in him. He's probably still got some action left in him. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing wherever he ends up. One thing I have actually seen in different reports is that this dude hasn't actually dunked in game in 2 years, since 2019, which is crazy. That's insane. Like, since he has been, and he's actually been on the Pistons for quite some time. He's actually been on there for 3 or 4 years, 5 years, something like that. I'm not really sure, but I just recently saw something that said he, at the beginning of his career, he dunked over 1,000 times. Since he's been with the Pistons, he's only dunked about 50, 55, something like that. It's crazy. It blows your mind. Now, one thing about trying to move someone like Blake Griffin, though, is because of the way he played, he commanded a lot of money. People was willing to throw a whole lot of money at him. So right now, he is worth a lot. I think he's getting 60,000, 60,000, $60 million over the course of the next couple years. Yeah, if he continues to just get traded. However, the destinations that he probably would like to go to, somewhere where they could use his help and that kind of thing. They're probably not going to want to give him that kind of money, because that's on the upper echelon of the players that are like they definitely know what they're going to give, what kind of output they're going to give for the team. So the best thing for the Pistons to really do is to buy this dude out. They're gonna have to come to some kind of agreement. Buy this dude out, let him go free and clear. That's it. Because I don't think that they're gonna get $30+ million. Anybody to trade $30+ million worth of assets for him until they know what he's going to actually put forth out there. So some destinations that I specifically would like to see him, because I don't really care what anybody else is talking about. I'm sure that there are some people talking about go back to the Clippers, go back to the Clippers. I'm not really a fan of the Clippers. I'm not, because they're too cocky. Like I'm actually so happy about how things played out for them last year because of how cocky they were. Now they're doing good this year and all that kind of stuff. They're doing decent. I think they actually have the best record right now because of a couple slip ups with the Lakers. But you know, it is what it is. But either way, no, don't go back to the Clippers. If you end up in LA, go to the Lakers. I could actually see Blake Griffin. That's in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and expound on that since I brought it up. The Lakers are my number one pick for Blake Griffin. If he can get a buyout from the Pistons, because right now the Lakers are in a situation where they're going to be without AD for a few weeks because of his Achilles tearing, all that kind of stuff, and then he re-aggravated it a couple games ago. So the Lakers is my top pick. He could come in, work with LeBron. Everybody loves working with LeBron. There's not a person on in the NBA who's ever said, "Oh, I don't like playing with LeBron." LeBron's a terrible teammate. Nah, no one's ever said that. So, I can imagine him working with LeBron setting him up, all that kind of good stuff. Might even get back into dunking for him. I think that would be his best bet. Not only that, but that would put him in position to finally win a ring, which I feel like Blake Griffin is a good dude, and he deserves it. Considering who all was part of the championship Lakers last season, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, um, Rajon Rondo, some of them guys, I would put Blake Griffin in the cleanup crew like that. Like, especially since he's evolved his game, I feel like now that Blake Griffin can shoot the ball, he can actually drive, make his own shot. He shoots a little bit of threes, but I've heard he's not really doing too great. But again, he's also playing what I'm gonna just play, and I'm not gonna do the best I possibly can type of ball right now from what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing. So, if he was on the Lakers, he would get I'm pretty sure he would get a whole lot more excited about going to practice, going to the games, playing, putting his best foot forward, especially since he would be playing with LeBron. And then when AD is healthy, he would be playing inside him too. And then, again, he would be playing with LeBron. LeBron is like the most, the highest basketball IQ in probably NBA history. Plus, he looks for people, and he would make sure Blake Griffin got his touches. I think that would be amazing, to tell you the truth. Especially since, me personally, I think Mark Gasol. Granted, he is a great player, or was a great player when he was younger, and he was more mobile, a lot faster. You know, he would be a better fit for the Lakers than Mark Gasol. He would be able to. Mark Gasol could actually probably, if you're going to use Mark Gasol, put him in the low post, let him do his defensive big man thing and that kind of thing. But Blake Griffin would be a better fit for the scoring aspect. You know, Mark Gasol shoots some threes. I seen him shoot some pretty good shots and whatnot. He still uses his body, so he's decent in some aspects, but he's still too freaking slow. It just bugs me to see anyone in the NBA be too slow. Like, nothing wrong with Mark Gasol. Like I said, he's an absolute great player, and he definitely was even better when he was younger. Um, Especially when it was him and I think it was him and Zach Randolph on the Grizzlies. Yeah, yeah, that's who it was. Those two were beasts together. Either way, I think Blake Griffin will be a great asset to the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's my top number one pick for him. Other than that, he needs to play in an environment where they're going to be doing that same kind of fast pace. So I think the next place would probably be somewhere like maybe a reunion with Chris Paul, where he can go down there with in Phoenix, since they're actually doing pretty good. Reunite with Chris Paul and do some things. Maybe reestablish Lob City. They had great chemistry in that regard. But but that might not work because I think those two were the ones who actually had the beef that caused Lob City to split up to begin with. So I'm not sure how that would work, but if they were able to put their differences aside and whatnot and then be cool again, that would be really good for them too. Of course, Miami, because he can partner up with Jimmy Butler. I think that would be a dope little matchup, a dope little tandem right there. He could help Bam in the low block a little bit because Blake Griffin got a little bit of defense in him. Again, he's playing lackadaisical ball right now, so you don't really see much of out of him right now. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he could, make people kind of think twice before they go into the paint. But yeah, the Miami Heat would be a good team. I'm sure the Bucks would be wanting them because Giannis Antetokounmpo definitely wants somebody that can roll with him that has some elite level talent. So if you paired him up with Giannis, that would actually probably be a pretty cool deal right there too. I could definitely see that. Um, but I just don't know because me personally, I'm kind of surprised that Milwaukee has had the success that they've had all these years because I mean, granted they've had some decent players and whatnot that they play their hearts out and all that kind of thing. But I don't really get it. I'm not really understanding how the Bucks have had so much success, except for the fact that they got Giannis. Um, and then they had Kyle Korver for a while. Malcolm Brogdon was doing pretty good, but then they got rid of him, which was stupid. I don't understand why they did that. Um, let's see. Then they let go of Wesley Matthews. He's on the Lakers now. I don't really understand that. So the Bucks really messed themselves up. Now that's why they're in the situation they're in, and that's why Giannis isn't even being looked at as MVP anymore because his team, let's be real, sucks compared to what they used to be. Um, I'm trying to think of another team that I could see myself saying, "Hey, Blake Griffin would do put in work on it." In fact, let's take a look at the standings real quick. Again, y'all probably can't see these very well because of how small the font is. Oh, not quite the computer genius I used to be, but no, the Nets would be a terrible idea. I mean, of course, he'd be reuniting with DeAndre Jordan, but I mean, they already got too much going on. Too many ball handlers, too, and not very much defense. And granted, Blake Griffin probably can play defense. I don't think he's defensive minded enough because he was so much of an offensive threat. I don't think he played too much defense. But um, Boston might be a really good deal for him because let me actually go for an overall look. And it's actually Utah who has the top record in the league. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that at all. But it sounds like Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell doing their thing over there. I had no idea whatsoever. But I don't think that's going to last very long because the Lakers clearly beat the Jazz a few games ago. I don't remember what game it was specifically, but yeah, the Lakers beat the Jazz, so I don't really think that's going to last very long. Let's see. Oh, and look, the Suns have the fourth best record in the league so far right now. I'm trying to think of another team. Actually, the Bucks are seventh. Have the seventh best overall record in the league, so that's actually not bad. But I mean, in the past couple seasons, they were number one, so that's pretty big fall from grace when you number one and then you fall all the way back to seventh. Um, the Nuggets already have the Joker, and they already have a little something going on over there. So I don't think he go over there and ruin their chemistry. The Warriors could definitely use him because I could definitely see Curry doing something, help him out, doing a little something. But I wouldn't want that because I mean, as much as I like Steph Curry and all that kind of stuff, you know, uh, uh, the Warriors already had their time in the spotlight. You know, go ahead and rebuild. You know, whatever y'all doing, wait for Klay Thompson to come back, see how everything works out there. Because I mean, you already got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond. Now you got Andrew Wiggins doing some stuff over there, trying to step out and do a little something. Y'all got that new center that you drafted. Eh, uh, so that is what it is in that regard. Um, New York is actually kind of emerging as a pretty good team. Surprisingly, I just saw something about Julius Randle dropping 40 the other night or something like that. That was kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to check out that game. And then my Charlotte Hornets are have the 16th best record in the NBA. They're of course not 5. They're not running 500, but if it was a thing where the NBA decided to change the playoff format and it just took the top 16 teams, ending the season right now, the Hornets will be in the playoffs. Let's see, from a conference perspective, in the East, my Hornets are number 7. So again, still in the playoffs. We'll be playing against the Bucks, uh, who are currently the number 2 seed in the East. That'd be an interesting lineup, and this an interesting series. But staying on topic, if Blake Griffin was somehow able to get on the Hornets, that would only make another target for LaMelo Ball to just be lobbing his passes up to. That would be the new residents of Lob City. I'm telling you. because he's already got Miles Bridges. He's already got my boy Bismack Biyombo. He's got Gordon Hayward. He can light up with the jumper or the three. Then Terry Rozier, Malik Monk. My boys on the Hornets are doing some big things, so I'm happy about that. Um, and I've actually always wanted some decent talent to come to Charlotte and like stir up the pot and make it a little bit better. Someone who's actually been in the league for a while. I know we got Melo and he's doing big things. We just got Gordon Hayward and he's actually staying healthy and doing big things too. We got Terry Rozier from Boston who's doing big things. But I would definitely love to see Blake Man, if we could get Blake Griffin in the Hornets jersey, that would be amazing to me. I would love it. I would absolutely positively love it. And I'm sure that my boy LaMelo would love it because, again, that would just make another person for him to pass it to. And especially if Blake Griffin got back into where he was dunking all the time, again, Lob City would move to Charlotte. That's where it would be. That's just what it is. But that's as far as I'm going to go with that conversation. I ain't going to go the whole 30 teams of the NBA. That's too much. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section down below. Hit me up with a like. Again, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell so that you get content as soon as I drop it. And again, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.